That's a scraping noise. I've heard that before. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was, the shield. Easy fix. Now, we've all either been driving in our vehicle or we've had a vehicle drive by us and heard this odd scraping sound. Now, this can be a safety issue. It's not something that you would continue driving on, so of course you'd pull over to the side of the road, a safe area, and just take a quick peek underneath the vehicle. For some reason, you don't see anything. So you go driving off again, and there's that scraping sound. This is typically going to start happening the faster you go. What could it be? You have to make your way under the vehicle and have a close look. Oh yeah. Now, as I make my way under the vehicle, I can see exactly what's going on here. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. First of all, what are we actually looking at underneath this area? On this particular vehicle, we have a plastic splash shield. Now, this is responsible for a couple different things. The first thing is aerodynamics. That's going to help at that fuel pump. You're going to get a little bit better fuel economy, right? Because the air is getting diverted along the bottom of the car the way that it should. Aside from that, you're also going to find that it helps cool the vehicle. You have air coming in through the front grille along the front bumper cover area. That has to get drawn through the radiator and AC condenser. That's going to cool down the engine. If it's missing the plastic panel under here and the manufacturer wanted it there, it's for a reason. You need it. Now let's talk about protection. Up above these plastic shields, you're going to find several different components. We offer them at oneauto.com. The shield itself needs to be secured. It might be just under the front. It could also make its way all the way underneath the engine compartment. Now I can see this is loose across the front, and this is a possible cause of that noise. Air's coming through and pressing down against this. It's possibly dragging on the ground. Now I do see some broken hardware here and across the front bumper cover. That is a probable issue. Now we need to continue on here. We're checking the rest all the way around. These typically have a lot of plastic push clips, and if you've ever dealt with them, they're really not very fun. So it's common for them to either break, get misplaced, or just disposed of, right? You can leave one or two ports loose. You really don't want to do it. That's when you can see what's happening here. Just one small area becoming loose can make other areas loose as well. Wow. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, looking up in this area, look at this plastic shield right here. This is actually part of the inside fender liner. It goes up and inside the fender. As you can tell, it has come loose, and it's been rubbing up against the tire. Now, is this damage from the actual panel rubbing against it? More than likely not. On this vehicle, I would say that's probably an alignment issue. It might even need some front end parts. It could still make some noise though if you are turning and the panel's loose. Now clearly this panel does have to be replaced. We're going to order it from oneauto.com. You can see it's not protecting vital components properly. Now this could all stem from bad hardware, whether it's mounting bolts or even those push clips that I mentioned that nobody likes to deal with. It can be frustrating, but I'm going to take this down so we can have a closer look at some of those components that it's protecting. This panel off of here. Oh. Now as you look behind your front bumper cover, on one side of the vehicle or the other, commonly you're going to find a washer fluid reservoir. Now this needs to be protected, of course. The reason why you'd want it protected is because it houses the washer fluid, which is what cleans your windshield. Now in this same area, outside from behind the bumper cover, commonly you're going to find along the side of the engine a serpentine belt and some pulleys. Now as you start looking at this, you're going to find that the belt goes around the pulleys in one direction or the other, has a specific routing. Now this is a real safety issue, and you have to think about it like this. The serpentine belt is what functions the power steering pump. So as the belt is going around the power steering pump itself, it's going to be circulating the fluid throughout your entire power steering system. Something else to think about in this same area, and this is almost just as important, it's more important to your engine if you think about it, and that's your water pump. The water pump might be driven by your serpentine belt as well. It's kind of the same thing as that power steering pump, except this time it's circulating the coolant, which is what's cooling down and actually warming up the engine a little bit. Now, sticking to talking with the engine, we also have the engine oil pan and engine oil filter, which of course house engine oil. You're also going to have a transmission with a transmission pan, also housing oil. Either way, if you have shields making their way across here, it's going to help protect this area from getting damaged. Let's continue on this particular vehicle. As I continue towards that far corner, I can see something else I want to talk about. We have other coolers as you make your way across the front of the vehicle, typically behind your front bumper cover. This is where you're going to find your AC condenser right along the very front, and then just behind that would be where your radiator is. So now as you saw, your vehicle has a lot of expensive components that are supposed to be protected by these shields. If your vehicle has them, it needs them. The manufacturer put them for a reason. So just order your part from us at 1aauto.com and we're going to ship it out, fast and free shipping, for easy installation.